Whether you're a teen or 30-something, we see too much sucker shit going on in the world. Not enough of us are sharing the script to help us all do better for ourselves. Enjoy this unfiltered, no bullshit game about how to survive and thrive in your Black awesomeness. Come through, listen, and think with the Queen.
I love that we both have on green. We're all coordinated. Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, first, just so we can get started, can you give me some background about what you do and how you got to this point in your life so far? Briefly.
How did you get here? That's always such an interesting story because people are always like, oh, did you always want to be a coach? And then one day you just decide to go for it. Lies, complete and utter lies. I never wanted to be a coach. I was always the go-to girl for advice and all this other stuff, but I never wanted to be a coach, not ever. And so my background is marketing and business. I at one point owned an award-winning urban marketing agency, and I was working with a dating site client. In a nutshell, I thought it'd be great to get certified so I could help the customers of the dating site, the members. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so divine plans are always perfect, but slightly inconvenient. And so at some point I go and get certified, and then the website goes bye-bye. Mm. And so I'm left with all these people going, oh my God, I love what you posted. And I'm like, no. So I argued with the divine, and you know how that works out, because clearly here I am, and 10 years later, I have not one, but 2 coaching practices and a plethora of certifications, everything from life to flexibility to integrative nutrition. And here we are.
Wow. Well, I know it was an amazing journey and probably brought so much wisdom along the way. So I'm glad you're here to share some of that with us today.
Well, I hope to be useful.
Yes, you definitely will be. So the question is, when did you know or learn that you needed to stay hungry in order to keep productive, like keep thriving, I guess you could say?
Honestly, I've considered that at various points of my life. I have to confess and say I don't always stay hungry. There have been times when I've been super complacent. Things were just like I wanted them. And so I got a little bit complacent. Just recently, though, I have made it a point to be hungry, and want more and set those bigger goals and, recognize that, some things just may not be a part of the program anymore because this is the direction that we're headed in. And though I might be really good at this, I'm not really good at that. And I want to press into the challenge of that.
Definitely. I definitely can attest that, I definitely been having that feeling. Like 2019 was my year of transformation, I think. Like it was really, I really took the time to really get to know myself, like what type of learner I am, what are my strengths, I really dug into that. And during that process, I realized I was like, yeah, I need to be doing something with more purpose. Like I work in a social service, I work for child support, and I'm not able to help people like I need to because especially our people, so that's why I'm saying, fuck it. And I'm going to challenge myself and conquer that fear, and I'm going to do it. So I'm working on my exit strategy now. So
yes, exit strategies. I'm here for it. Yes.
So, okay. So if you could, just to give those that are not familiar with your work, some background about your superhero concept.
Absolutely.
If you could.
Absolutely. So, my clients all fit a particular profile, and they're really good at rescuing other people. They are the ones, if they're the ones that everybody calls because they know they're going to be there. No matter what. It could be 13 years. It's like, I'm calling you. Can you help me? And they're like, putting on the cape and they're ready to go. And, you know, I know because I live that, you know, I live that, you know, developing my identity around my ability to fix people and to rescue people and to help, but I'm really enabling people. And so when it came time to craft this brand and emerge with this new message, I wanted to say something that I felt like was powerful and that we can all identify with. We can all identify with a superhero. And so in that, recognizing that the end result of working with me, if you will, or the end result of your healing process and your shifting process is that not only do you get to show up powerfully and live abundantly, but you get to be your own superhero. And the good news is that you already know how to do it. So I'm just challenging you to take that energy and turn it into yourself. Keep that same energy, you know, like the kids say, and turn it into yourself and be like, you know what? I'm going to rescue me. I'm going to fix me. Because at the end of the day, you can never fix them anyway. And people that you enable, they were already entitled, so they're never grateful. So you're just really casting your energy to the wind and hoping that it comes back. And it rarely does. And I'm not saying that you don't need to help anybody, but I'm saying that your identity doesn't come from helping people. We're always worthy in the being, not in the doing.
Wow, that's really powerful. Really powerful. So who would you say your favorite superhero is besides yourself?
Well, okay, so I have to be the extra one, right? So I have old school and new school. So old school, I go Wonder Woman and Batman.
Okay.
Okay. I have this interesting love affair with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series.
Okay.
But new school, I have to say my love goes to Deadpool and Iron Man.
Okay. I'm definitely a Deadpool fan for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
I've always been drawn to Storm and Rogue. The fact that Rogue the fact that she could absorb people's powers, you know, and it made her stronger.
Wait, I gotta adjust my list. Hold on. I forget I can include the X-Men, so then that changes.
Oh, yeah.
But nevertheless. But yeah, I could be here all day. Actually, I really am I'm a Marvel girl.
Oh yeah, same here. We need to start a crew.
Yes.
Between us and Dave, I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a Marvel girl.
Okay. So now, favorite superpower.
Well, that depends. You know, I'm a big gadget person, so I love gadgets.
Okay.
You know, I love Wonder Woman's lasso, and then all the stuff that, you know, Batman has in his little belt. And of course, you know, Iron Man, Tony Stark. I feel like his intelligence is a superpower, but that suit is amazing. Like he can fly and it's awesome. And he made like 8 million of them and he blew them up for love. I mean, what can you do? And then of course, Deadpool is just Deadpool. And I really like him because he's a smarty pants like me, as is Iron Man. I think I might have a problem, but
no, if like-minded flock together, you know.
Just like, yes, but you know, oddly enough, I just did 2 classes recently, and they were the most interesting pair of superpowers I think anybody's ever heard of. And the first one was surrender, and the second one was relentless self-love. So beyond the gadgetry, I really have to say that relentless self-love is my favorite superpower, even though it's one that I crafted myself.
Okay. That's wow. Man, we gotta get on it. We gotta see if that's something we can develop, you know, with the right tools such as yourself. We can, you know.
Yes,
so
I'll be your gadget. Yes.
I'll be your Tony Stark. Let me help mold you.
I can tinker.
Okay. So now let's say I'm asking as one of your clients. What tips would you give on how to deal with the impatience of healing? Because when you could face traumas or you face bad things, you know, once you get to a point where like you accept it and then you're trying to move on, like sometimes I think as in myself, you know, I
Mhm.
find myself growing impatient. Like, I really want to get over this so I can stop thinking about this. What tips do you have about trying to deal with something like that?
I mean, at the end of the day, the impatience is part of the process. I
Okay.
think when we, spend too much time being like, go away, get away from me. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm over this and whatever, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you can do that. But see, I have a belief, if you will, that those feelings, that feeling of impatience shows up to teach us something.
Mm-hmm.
And when we rush it off, all it does is come back stronger. All it does is come back and say, hey, remember me? I'm the impatience that you didn't deal with. And so, I think the thing of it is that we don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't want to punish, penalize. That's the word. We don't want to penalize our process because, oh my goodness, I want to get over this. We got to take it the way it comes. So if impatience shows up, if fear shows up, then we say fear, and fear says, huh? Why are you here? What do you want? What do you want to show me? And then we never let it linger beyond the lesson because we don't want to end up in a point of self-loathe. So that's our challenge is recognizing that we're entitled to the impatience, and that's going to come. We're entitled to feeling afraid. We're entitled to not wanting to deal. And listen, if you're in a process and you don't want to deal on that particular day, you don't have to. Maybe you say, hey, fear, I believe in personifying, feelings. You know what? I see that you're here. I'm going to write in my journal about fear right now. But today I just don't have it. I'm not ignoring you. I just don't have it. And give ourselves the grace and the space to maneuver this thing the way that we want to, because it's a process.
And that's
like
part
Dave
of it.
says, it's going to take as long as it takes. It's going to take as long. You can't rush through it. You're just going to take as long as it takes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, in your expertise, since you've been, to this point, is there a trauma that one can't heal from?
That's almost like asking, is there weight that someone can't lose? I'm like, yeah, but it's a question of, do you want to put in the energy? I tell clients all the time, especially the marital clients, because by the time they call or we're on a call, they're at the 100-pound mark. And I say, listen, we can lose 100 pounds or we can lose 10 pounds. Please come in here when you need to lose 10 pounds. It's easier for you. See, it's always going to be easy for me because I'm facilitating. I'm on the outside looking in. It's harder to lose 100 pounds.
Yeah.
It takes more consistency. It takes more commitment. It's more frustrating. And so at the end of the day, sure, there are traumas we can't heal from if we choose not to. If we just feel like it's just, and maybe it's not to heal from in this lifetime. Maybe you're going to take that on to the next lifetime. We'll see that. But yeah, I think we can heal from anything as long as we're willing to feel it, to deal with it. Then we have the opportunity to heal from it. As long as we don't want to feel it or deal with it, then no, we can't heal.
Okay. So, because I definitely want to reach out to the youth, like I'm talking like 16 coming up, can you give any identifiers where we can identify trauma and how we can go about getting help for that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the challenge is we always want to make trauma be what they call big T traumas. And so when somebody says trauma, especially in childhood, people say, oh, rape, molestation, abuse, that's all you get. And I'm like, we have to really be willing to expand our understanding of what's traumatic to somebody. Because the mere fact that, yes, if you're going through big T traumas, we definitely want you to get assistance with that, okay? But we can't bastardize the little T traumas as if they don't matter. They do matter. If your mom told you repeatedly that she was going to, people will say, well, that happens in childhood. Well, but the
Hold
way
on, I
we
missed what you
process
said.
it.
I missed the example of you broke
Oh,
up a
okay.
little bit.
Oh, no worries. Probably Lauren. But if what people don't understand is that if a mother tells a child that she's going to do something repeatedly and she never does it, that can be traumatic to that child.
Mm-hmm.
And most people say, oh, well, everybody's parent did that. Okay, but everybody is different. And so if that in turn began to shape my worldview, that I either can't trust my mother, can't trust women, can't trust people in general, then that has indeed created trauma. It is a shifting of our purview, a shifting of our perspective, rather, a shifting of our worldview that's predicated on a series or an instance of an event. And that's definition according to Stephanie, because I really want people to expand the fact that just because you weren't raped, molested, or abused, that does not mean that you were not traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you feel like there's a place, anybody, 16, 12, 32, 59, whatever, if you feel like there was ever an episode in your life that you keep replaying over and over and over and over, it was probably traumatic to you. And that's when you can decide, okay, I might want to get help to deal with this, because you don't want that event to have that much power over you. You don't want one thing or a series of things that happen to have such an effect on your life that you can't see clearly.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be able to trust the fellow humans that we encounter. We need to be able to trust ourselves. And we need to be able to know that we were worthy, even if we didn't get that thing we were worthy of. So, but sometimes we have to get help. Sometimes we can watch some YouTube videos, and there's some beautiful exercises that help you with that. Some people are far enough along in their own process that they can do that. But we definitely want to make sure that we identify it as traumatic, even if it's not the three that I talked about.
Right. Okay. Well, definitely before I end this episode, I will provide some resources for sure on,
Excellent.
places people can contact. So,
I will go ahead and be super transparent and be like, listen, I've been through my own set of traumas, and both of the traumas that come to mind are the loss of my father. I lost him twice. I lost him the first time because he was framed for murder. I lost him the second time when he died. And so that had its own, the narrative of how he was framed and him being on the news, and he got out in 6 years because, yeah. So the way that the whole story went and was portrayed was insane. And so, one of the things that I that's not in the big T's, right? That's not in the big T trauma. But anytime I feel like we have loss or unmet expectations, or there's some semblance of neglect, and it doesn't mean that you were locked in a room without food and water, but maybe there were 4 kids and you just didn't get the attention you thought you deserved. We have to be willing to expand our understanding of trauma so that we're willing to acknowledge our woundings so we ultimately can heal.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, and thank you so much for just using your Black girl magic to help people do that. I push that so hard because we really need to, and it's hard. It's hard to really like bring us together because there's so many people that are still, as I say, stuck in the matrix. They don't want to get unplugged. I think that movie is just the best analogy for this world to me. So, but thank you for all that you do. Please share where people can find you, what you're doing, what you're working on. So happy to follow you.
Absolutely. Well, you can find me most places at Stephanie D. McKenzie. On Instagram at Stephanie D. McKenzie. On Twitter at Stephanie DM, because y'all know Twitter's a hater. On Facebook as Coach Stephanie DM or Stephanie D. McKenzie. So if you just Google me, I'll come up. And my 2 coaching practices are the Relationship Firm and the Healing Firm. And you can find them in social media by their appropriate names, at least for the most part. So
okay.
From you.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got for this one. So I definitely think you're going to be one of my alum. I'm definitely going to have you back, especially the more I dig into, into this concept I'm working on. So thank you so much.
Awesome. I would love to talk more about the child piece and making sure that we give our children the love that they so richly deserve.
Absolutely.
when relationships end and all that good stuff. I would love to talk more about that. So, but
Yeah.
this has been awesome. So, and we're all greened out. So next time we'll coordinate too.
Okay. All right. We'll plan ahead.
Yeah, you let me know, girl. You let me know.
All right. All right. Well, you stay safe. I'm gonna be checking in on you. We both be stalking that group. So.
If you need anything, just holler. I'm here for you.
All right. Okay. Well, you stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
That's enough game for now. Follow Queen Doja on Facebook and Instagram at The Script Podcast, online at thescriptpodcast.com, and YouTube at bit.ly/The Script Podcast. Stay awesome, blessed, and always on script.